You should kill yourself now.
Select tactics. Here we go.
As Quan Chi, your job is to hit him with the mix, and after that, stand your ground in the mid lane and catch him with a few pokes. Quan Chi is definitely well-rounded, but he relies on highs too much, so you can easily duck a lot of his gimmicks. Out of the whole roster, he's the funnest one for me. I really love doing his combos and just messing with people with the chaos that he can bring to the table. So, the first thing you want to work on with Quan Chi is his poke game. He's decent at close range, but against rushdowns like Lee May, Liu Kang, Johnny Cage, Smoke, he's going to have a really hard time since he has very slow startup. So you want to maintain a mid distance from them and poke them. Quan Chi's best poke is his standing 4. He put his foot in the portal and kicks you in the back of the head. This move can be also cancelled to any of his special moves, so you can just do kick to teleport, kick to tongue grab, kick to projectile. It's very useful. But it only really works on the stationary, so if they're moving forward, you'll completely miss this. But if they are coming at you, his other poke is really good, his standing 3, the tongue lash. This is a good anti-air, and even if they're not in the air, it's a good knock-up so you can juggle people with it. And Quan Chi got some really good air combos. This one's just really easy to bait out. Just stand your ground, and as soon as they jump, do it. Or sometimes just do it right there. Most people don't have the range enough to hit you before you can throw it out again. But now let's talk about my other tip. This man relies on highs way too much. Both of those moves are high. Also his standing 1 and 2 are also highs. And look at his standing 2. Look at this. Why is that a high? Come on, he's literally hitting him in the face when he's ducking. That should be a mid. Yeah, a lot of people already caught wind of this, so most of the time when you're fighting somebody, they'll wake up just crouching punch since they'll just ignore all of that. So one of your best bets is just step back and use his forward 3, which is his only mid, and it has a lot of startup. That's why I usually don't try to use it on wake up, so just back up and try to use that because it got a little bit of distance. The second part definitely has distance, but you can't combo off of that, so if you want mix, you just do the first part and you can cancel into your teleport, tongue lash, all of that, yada yada. And he does have one combo that starts with a low, but again, that has startup, so you can't really do that off bucks because you will get punched. And honestly, I find all of that fair because everything after those highs gets crazy. This man has so much mixed potential. His standing 1 leads into an overhead, and if you don't want to do the overhead to get a mix, you can just go into his tongue grab. The standing 2 goes into 2-1-3, which ends in a low, or he can do 2-1-4, which is an overhead, or 2-1-4-4, which is a double overhead, or instead of from that first overhead, do the tongue grab, which is a low, or he can go into his teleport, which is a delayed overhead, so it just keeps them guessing. This man has so much mixed potential. He's a literal guessing game. It's sometimes really hard to deal with it. Giving this man a overhead and a low special move was a dangerous idea, but again, if you do successfully block all this, most of those moves are really punishable. So make sure you keep them on their guessing game, because if you keep doing the same thing and they catch on to that, you will get punished. After a grab or any combo that does a good amount of knockback, this is the time to start shooting projectiles, especially if they don't have a teleport. Open up that nether realm portal and shoot them with them skulls, because it does some good damage. And also, one thing I noticed, a lot of people don't use Psycho Skull. It's an actual useful move. This and that cage move, I barely see anybody use. I understand the cage move, that's kind of like, eh. But his Psycho Skull, it's really useful. Especially if an opponent just gonna sit there and try to duck your projectiles. That's an overhead, so it will hit them. And then since you can aim it, you can hit them from anywhere. You just gotta predict if they're gonna move forward or not. So it's an extremely useful tool. So people, please start using it, because I don't ever see Quan Chi's use it, but me. And I know you've been seeing him throughout all of this. I honestly think Scorpion is one of the best cameos for him. He adds good juggle to all his air combos, because Quan Chi got some really good air combos. He helps out with some of his mix. With his 2-1-3, you can extend it with Scorpion. Scorpion even has an overhead, so it'll help him with some mix. And if you're in a jam, he can just pull you away and you can just start zoning with him. Which honestly I find funny with the history between Quan Chi and Scorpion, that's one of his best cameos. But if you don't like Scorpion, Frost is always a good cameo with everybody. Just don't pick Serena. Don't be a scrub. Quan Chi is a really fun character with a lot of crazy gimmicks and great mix. It's just that he relies on highs too much. But if you play the field right, you really don't have to worry about that. Just stand your ground and hit him with them pokes, and soon people will be calling you Quan Chi's.
Your combat is impotent.